It is Friday, June 19th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by T-Mobile. That Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. It is good to have you back after we missed you for a few days. You were in Texas with your family. You had a weird Wednesday off day on the schedule, which was strange. Now you're in Arizona. How's the Plouffe Roadie tour going?
It's going well. I appreciate you filling in for me or having someone fill in for me on Wednesday.
No, I'm always here. It was
Um,
Swilly and Dalton that filled in for you.
Thank you to them. I got to spend a nice Wednesday with my family. We played
Mm.
tennis together, racquetball. There's like a beautiful sports facility where we were, so spent a lot of the time doing that. Then went out to a nice dinner,
Hmm.
and then yeah, I mean, look, Twins swept. I know we're gonna get into it a little bit, but I had a nice little start to my road trip, so yeah, I'm happy.
That away. Now you're in Arizona where it's probably it's like playing a game on the sun. It's
Yeah.
so hot there in June. Oh, oof. Anyway, let's get to it. Tip of the cap. It has been a miserable year for the Kansas City Royals. Absolutely horrific. But they did bust out a smile for this.
Blasted into left field and gone for the captain. And Salvador Perez is the home run king of Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, 137 big flies in his home park, breaking a tie with the Hall of Famer, the legendary George Brett. So that was good. Bad news is Bobby Witt hurt his knee. Check in on that. Hopefully he's okay. You played against Salvi for years. One of the good dudes, man.
Just a ball player, man. Just loves the game so much. A leader, very pretty right there. That sunset, that purple sky
Mm,
was
I know.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Okay, Kansas City. Yeah, no, I love Sal. To this day, when I go into the locker room, still get a big hug from him, and he's a big boy. Statue guy in Kansas
Statue
City.
guy in Kansas City.
Yeah,
Yeah. 2015 World Series MVP, leader of that franchise.
yeah.
You know, one team for his career. Pretty cool stuff. So that was nice for him. Now let's move on to the team that has kind of stolen the show in that division, the American League Central. We've talked a lot about the Chicago White Sox. First two games in the boogie down, not so pretty. They got smacked around by the Yankees. But when they needed somebody to deliver in a pinch, Benny got it done in grand style.
Pinch hitter, Andrew Benintendi. First pitch, swinging, back it goes! Let's go! It's a grand slam Benny bomb in the Bronx, and the Sox take the lead here in the 8th inning.
First pitch, you think he was hunting?
Yeah, I got one off of Cole too the next day.
What are you saying?
Did you not hear me?
No.
Oh, I said he got one off Cole too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the
I just
next
wanted
day.
to I just wanted to throw that out there for Dan.
Oh, okay. All right. All
Yeah.
right. I didn't know. Yeah, well, you said the next day. I thought you were looking into the future or something. Are you saying the previous day?
Previous day.
Yes. Yeah, I think you said the next day, and I
Did I
was like,
say that? I
"Man,
didn't even say that.
you can tell the future? Holy smokes, Plouffe. We're gonna turn this into a business if that's the way we're going." So, good for them that they got by the way, I wanna give you this stat. Did you see who hit the last pinch hit grand slam for the Chicago White Sox?
I did not.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you were teammates with him at some point.
Oh.
Played for a bunch of teams. Let's see if you can get this.
Cleat Thomas.
No, Arizona, the Dodgers, obviously the White Sox. I'm pretty sure he played for the Twins, one of the great chatty infielders in history.
Arizona Dodgers?
Great nickname, too.
I have no idea.
The O-Dog.
Oh, Orlando Hudson.
Did you play with him?
I did, yeah, my first ever start at shortstop, he was a second baseman.
Was he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Chatty. I love talking to him.
Chatty. He was a different kinda guy, man. I liked him, though.
Oh, yeah, he was fun. He was fun. He was the last White Sox to hit a grand slam. Um,
Here we go, thank you.
oh, okay. All right. Well, I was gonna say, the thing that threw me for a loop was you said the next day.
I'm sorry. I messed that up.
It's okay. It's okay. Nice job, by the way, by Sean Burke, who came in. They didn't have him start. They had him finish the game. They went with openers. It's kind of an interesting system they're using. Gave up 1 run for the White Sox in 7 1/3. That was a big deal because he grew up in Massachusetts. He said, I grew up a Red Sox fan, so this one is for my boys back home in Boston. Yeah. So now the White Sox continue their road trip with a stop in Motown. And we're going to focus a little bit on the Tigers here because they're 9.5 back. And earlier this week, Tarek Skubal, who starts the series opener tonight, he told the Detroit News, quote, the reality is we need to play better baseball or else come the deadline, you give the front office an option to reassess where the team is. And if they don't think what we have here is a World Series or playoff caliber team, then the whole team is going to look different. That's just the nature of the beast. Is it a do or die weekend for this franchise?
I mean, I don't know if I'll say it's a do or die weekend, but I mentioned this on the Twins broadcast that I was doing. I mean, these next like 4 to 6 weeks, I call it 4 weeks right now. Like these are very, very important to these teams that are on the fence of buying or selling. I mean, I don't think it comes down to this series necessarily. Would it be nice to make up ground in the AL Central? Sure, but I think they're more looking towards the wild card. 6.5 games back right now for them. Am I just so choppy? Okay. 6.5 games back in the wild card. I think that's what they're looking. They'd have to jump a bunch of teams. But yeah, I don't know if I call it a must-win do or die weekend, but the next month it's paramount. And every team goes through it. You have to convince your team to not sell, to buy, to hold pat, whatever it is. So yeah, I mean they're coming to a fork in the road where I think they're going to have to make decisions soon. But I don't know if I'm going to say this is do or die for them because I don't think they're like, hey, let's go win the AL Central. They're 9.5 games back. They're looking towards that wild card.
Mathematically, it's not. I think emotionally, you could start saying it's time. I mean, at what point do these guys start looking at each other and like, God dang it, man, it's just not happening. It's not happening. And I know that they could use the Guardians as an example of figuring it out in late July and early August, but they don't have that sort of time. And it's not just Skubal, right? Look at the other guys. It's Kenley Jansen, Casey Mize, Gleyber Torres, who just went on the injured list again, Jack Flaherty. Those are all free agents to be. And those are all guys that playoff contenders would like to dig their claws into because they have postseason experience. Some of it very good, by the way. So, yeah, I mean, the clock's ticking. We know that. This starts a 10-game homestand for Detroit against the White Sox, the Yankees, and the Astros. Go time.
Yeah, and I think the way you can look at it if you're a Tigers fan too, the guys that are actually having success this year, the Dylan Dinglers, obviously Kevin McGonigal has been incredible for them. Imagine telling Tigers fans at the beginning of the season he was going to have a 4-1 B WAR and you'd be in last place. That's crazy. Kerry Carpenter, like these guys are all under control for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think they do end up selling though, Chris. It doesn't seem like they're going to turn it around. And I said it that I wanted them to give Skubal the qualifying offer, but at this point, I think that this was the worst case scenario. It's happened. I think they end up selling pretty deeply.
Yep, I agree. I think it's happening. One thing that Detroit fans can look forward to is the return of Justin Verlander pitching with the English D on his chest at Comerica for the first time since August of 2017. Now, he made only one start this year, went less than 4 innings, injured his hip. He's been out for 2.5 months. That's what happens when you're 43 years old and plus. In fact, he's going back and pitching ball is good for him. How excited should Detroit fans be with his Sunday start?
I think it's cool to see him. I think it's cool to see him pitching with that logo on again. Yeah. How excited? I don't know. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 7 because it's Justin Verlander. But I think you understand how the season's going. I don't know if he's the savior. He's not,
and that's not to be mean. He's 43 years old and a future Hall of Famer and one of the best of our generation, and there's nothing wrong with that. He has even questioned it. Like he's like, yeah, should we be doing this? It's not perfect. It's not the perfect scenario, but we got to find out. And the only way to find out is to go out there and, not have a sim game and not have a rehab start, but to have the real thing. So it'll be very interesting. I think it'll be great for an inning. Like, it'll be great to see him, the pomp, the circumstance, make it the big deal that it should be in his return
Yeah.
to Comerica wearing that uniform. And then after that, it becomes a ball game and games they got to start winning. Like, they can't go 5-5 on a 10-game homestand, even against two of the better teams in the American League and another team in Houston that's trying to figure itself out.
I
5-5
think
is not going to cut it.
no, but I do think he'll get a massive pop, and I think the stands might be full for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. On Father's Day? Cool.
Yeah.
Let's go do it. The guy who's trying to stave off father time, if you will. Tigers fans out there, let me know and let us know in the comments section if you're going to the game, how excited you are for Verlander's return. What do you think of Scooble's comments? And how's this thing going to play out? Why don't you look into Plouffe's crystal ball, since he just told us that Benintendi went deep against Garrett Cole tomorrow?
I'm looking at his stats right now, and obviously he's pitched for so long, but they have Baseball Reference. They have if it's in italics, it's like the active leader in innings pitched, hits, earned runs, homers, walks, strikeouts, batters faced. It's like, okay,
It's great. And you know what's a cool little tidbit? You know who was his opposite number the day that he made his last start at Comerica as a Tiger?
ooh, what year? That was 2017.
It was August of 2017.
Who the pitcher was against him?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a hint and you'll nail it.
Okay.
Best of this generation.
Kershaw.
Could you imagine if you went to the Verlander Kershaw game? Woof!
Like that.
That's pretty cool. Dig it. Today's episode of Baseball Today is sponsored by Samuel Adams. This summer, America turns 250, and nobody's more ready to raise a glass than the beer named after a founding father himself, Samuel Adams. From the man who helped spark a revolution to the brand that's been brewing independence since 1984, Sam Adams is leading the celebration all summer long. Crack open a summer ale, that crisp, citrusy wheat ale with a bright lemon finish that tastes like the 4th of July in a glass. Or you can grab the limited edition Star Spangled Variety Pack. It's loaded with summer ale, porch rocker, American Light, and fan favorite blueberry lager. Look for their retro-inspired packaging at a store near you, because this isn't just another summer. It's America's 250th. So join the rally. Raise a Sam for the founders, for the flavor, for 250 years of independence. Cheers to 250, America. This Sam's for you. Samuel Adams, the Boston Beer Company, Boston, Massachusetts. SamuelAdams.com. Savor the flavor responsibly. All right. I hadn't worn this Twins hat all season long. Do you know how I knew that? Because it took
The stickers were still on it?
Sticker was still on it.
Okay.
But I did this not just because I love you, but because they've actually playing some pretty good ball. As my man mentioned, and I don't know if they're inspired by Plouffe's appearance on the road or not, but they got it done in Texas.
Oh, that's a smack deep to right field. It's up, it's gone. Brooks Lee, yes sir, 3-run bomb, and it's 4-0 Twins.
By the way, who's calling the games with you?
That's Greg Caserta of
that
MLB
name.
Network. He's filling in. Corey Provis is doing radio on this trip because Chris Atterbury, who normally does radio, is taking some time off.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hope you're having a good time. You didn't trail at all in that series. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know. I mean, they first inning runs were big for the Twins, and they pitched well. They hit the crap out of the ball, everything.
So now check those standings. Guess who's only 1.5 out of the wild card chase? The little Twinkies. So Dan Hayes, who covers the Twins for The Athletic, went up to Byron Buxton and said, "Does it bother you that your name still gets mentioned in trade talk?" Quote, "I don't give a fuck," Buck said with a smile. "End of day, nobody's in my shoes. Nobody can say anything about what I'm going to do. I know what I'm doing. The only way I'm getting out of here, they're going to have to come talk to me and tell me something else. Simple as that. I ain't said nothing about leaving, nor will I. I am a Twin. As we know, Byron Buxton earlier this year became 10-5, so fully enforced no trade. If Buxton could be convinced to waive his no trade, would it be good or not for the franchise to trade him?
No, you don't trade a guy like Buck who's been in your organization since what 2012 or something like that. You just don't do it. And this isn't the first time he said something like this. I talked to Dan Hayes after he got the interview, and he mentioned Byron said like F no or whatever. And he's like, it was a quote, so I can run it. And I think he loved doing it because it is, affirmative, and you don't get that out of Buck a lot. So yeah, I just don't think it's within their best interest to do it. Especially they're trying to win back fans right now. I've said that in the entire year. Tom Pollard has come in saying, I want to win back. I want people to think about our family in a positive light again. And you don't. Hey guys, look at the Red Sox and what happened after the Mookie Betts trade. It's very similar vibes to that. So no, you don't trade Byron Buxton, and you can't even if you wanted to because he has the 10-5. So it's not going to happen.
I agree with you that it's not going to happen. That wasn't the question. The question is, if they could convince him to do it, would it be good? And you said no. And I will tell you why it is.
Okay.
And this is where all the stars are aligning. I would normally say, probably not, because I understand what you're saying about, trying to win back fans. Look, they traded 10 guys last year at the deadline. It was something like we had never seen before. It was like, everything must go. Get out. We don't have uniforms for you. We got to ship you somewhere. I don't care if we're sending you to Tampa Bay, Toronto. It doesn't matter. Y'all got to get out. Bucks, you can stay. Everybody else, you got to go. And then what do they do in the offseason? They cut almost $40 million in payroll. So you were right. They have to win this fan base back, because I was looking at the seats last year at Target Field. I was like, do people know the game's going on? Did they move the game time? Because nobody's here. And that's not fun. It's a great city. It's a great baseball town. The fans deserve better. With that being said, you know what else helps people get back in the seats? Winning. Winning will help you do that no matter who is wearing the uniform. Yes, they are only 1.5 out of the wild card chase. What is the Twins' record, Trevor Plouffe?
36-40, I think.
36-40 is correct. Is that over 500 or under 500?
It's under.
It is under 500. Do you think the Twins are a good baseball team?
I think they are a good baseball team.
That is the wrong answer. They are not a good baseball team. They are under average. The problem is that they look good because the rest of the American League stinks too. So once again, how many times a year do I use this phrase? You have to be good at self-evaluation. The Twins are not very good. What does everybody in this league want? What are they all craving offensively right now?
A right-handed power bat.
Right-handed power bat is correct, Trevor Plouffe. You're doing pretty well at this game show. What do you think people would give up to get Byron Buxton, who is owed a little bit more than $15 million over each of the next 2 years?
I want to stop your whole thing. I don't give a shit. I don't. Tell me what prospects are going to come solve the fucking Twins' problems. They're not, Chris. They're not. We got plenty of people on the way up. The farm system is top heavy, so these guys are coming up soon. Okay. So like the offense, by the way, second in the AL in runs scored. I think they're sixth in all of baseball. So
great. So you won't miss him as much.
Hey, I'm telling you, you're wrong on this one, Chris. You're wrong because you're getting infatuated with a trade package that would bring back some prospects that I could care less about. I could care less about it. Okay. People need to get healthy on this team, the pitching staff in general. You do not do it. There's also a business side to this where, you can say, oh, I want to win. How do you know that's going to help you win? I guarantee you what's going to help you lose fans. I can guarantee this. If you trade Byron Buxton, if you convince Byron Buxton, make him like the bad guy somehow, you're going to lose fans. It doesn't make any sense. I know people love to do it. It's like fun to talk about it, but in this instance where the Twins are at, as a company, as an organization, it makes 0 sense to trade Byron Buxton.
It makes 0 sense if they don't get the right people back. Absolutely. If
Well, I
they
mean, how
bomb
do
on
you
the
know you're gonna get
trade,
the right people back?
well, now who's the team they're chasing in the American League Central? Chicago White Sox.
And the Guardians.
All right. So what did the White Sox do a year and a half ago? They gave up a 20-something left-handed pitching monster that you would normally want to build around. You're like, okay, everybody's searching for an ace. We've got him right here. Here he is. Why in the world would we give him up with all the team control in the world? What did they end up doing? They probably changed the trajectory of their franchise when they picked up Chase Mydroff, Braden Montgomery, Kyle Teal, and we'll see if Gonzalez is able to chip in as well.
That's not dude, if you think that those 3 guys are gonna change the Twins, you're talking about that's being an excellent package for Crochet. If you think those 3 guys are gonna change the outlook of the Minnesota Twins, it's not, Chris.
But
The
hold
reason the
on.
White Sox are winning is not those guys.
They're
It's not.
part of the answer.
they're
Certainly going to be part of the
They're
answer.
a small part of why they're winning. Colson Montgomery is a draft pick by them.
Huge.
He's the biggest part of why they're looking the way they are. Murakami was a free agent. That was a very great signing for them. It's also been a pitching development. Those guys, they didn't get them back from a trade of Garrett Crochet. They didn't. If you think those 3 guys are the reason they're winning, you're wrong, and they wouldn't help the Twins anyway.
They are, first of all, I know that Kyle Teal hasn't had a single at bat. That is a big part of why they're going to
I
be
love
near
those
the
guys.
top
You're making
of
me
the
talk
Central
poorly
Division.
about them right now. I'm telling you right now, if you think that if you were like, hey, Byron Buxton is going to get you back Chase Mydroff, Braden Montgomery, and Kyle Teal, I would say absolutely not.
Okay. Enjoy being 4 games under 500.
All right. Again, there's honestly, and this is the truth, sometimes there's more to it than wins and losses when you're
would
in the
agree with that.
position that the Twins are in.
Look,
You
I
got me
love
all fired up now.
I know, and I love Bucks and everything he stands for. I love it that he has the ability to say, no, nobody's in my position. You don't know. And I don't want people to confuse this. This is not me saying, boy, what's he doing? He could go play for a contender that we definitely know is going to be in the playoff race. And it's definitely going to be part of October instead of hoping that the Twins stick around in the wild card chase or in the central race. That's not what I'm saying. The only game I'm playing is if they could convince him, if they could go to him and say, hey, would you like to go to Philadelphia and maybe play with those guys? Not that the Phillies have anything that the Twins could use right now because they're pretty barren, but you understand what I'm getting at.
I never wanted or thought I'd be in this position. Now I sympathize with Angels fans because I know everyone talks about Mike Trout being traded, even though he said multiple times, like, I'm good. He's got the no trade clause. The Twins are not the Angels. I will say that. So it's honestly, again, you got me fired up. It is good fodder for a talk show. Get it. But it's a moot point. He just said, I'm a Twin.
Yep. So let me finish with this.
Okay.
Do you think, even though he said that we will hear like some big trade rumor regarding him in late July?
Of course.
I think so too.
Teams are still going to make offers.
Yeah, and they should, by the way.
Yeah, and they're going to make offers on Joe Ryan, and I think it would be really silly for the Twins to trade Joe Ryan during this year as well. If you want to trade him in the offseason, I actually do understand that. But to do it now, again, it's just one of those things. This is not a season that the Twins are going to sell. They're not.
That was fun. Got the blood going a little bit, huh?
My God. No, not Ryan Jeffers either, dude. They should sign him to an extension. Just relax, Dan.
Okay. Wow. All right. That'll wait.
Fire me up.
Yeah.
Rangers.
Here's what fires me up, guys. You know, one of the terms of endearment around the office for me is they call me the dad of John Boy Media, and I really appreciate it, right? There's not a lot of guys my age that get to hang out with people half their age and work with them, and people ask for advice. I'm happy to give it to him all the time. And one of the things I like to say to a lot of the young people that I work with who are just starting a family or whatever, I bring this up because my dad was in the business. I said, "Do you have life insurance?" And they look at me like, "What?" Like, the kid's 1 year. I'm like, "Huh? This is when you start. You've got to get in the game. It is so important because it's things that people don't necessarily like talking about. Because who the heck wants to talk about when they're not going to be around anymore? I mean, how much fun is that? It is so important to take care of the people that you love. And Ethos makes getting life insurance fast, and it is done completely online. Here's what you do. You get a quote in seconds, you apply in minutes, and you get same-day coverage. There is no medical exam. You just answer a few health questions online. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with some policies as low as $30 a month. Once again, it's 100% done online, so there's no agent to call. There's no doctor's office visits. There's no weeks of waiting. Ethos helps protect the people who depend on you. I just mentioned that. It takes about as long as watching a half inning of a baseball game. So take 10 minutes to get covered today with life insurance through Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/baseball today. That is ETHOS.com/baseball today. Application times may vary. Rates may vary as well. I'm telling you, folks, it is really important to take care of the people that are closest to you. Got it? Good. Mike Trout, take care of yourself, my man. God dang it. I'm just sitting around and all of a sudden I see this alert. Mike Trout to the IL. I'm like, what is going on? Come on, man. I didn't even notice anything. Well, out in Arizona, he's trying to beat out a ball in the infield. Stretched a little funny, and he thought it was a cramp. It's not a cramp. He ends up on the injured list. Here's Trouty.
I'm not gonna put a timeline on it, but I'm trying to get back as fast as I can. I got to be smart. Obviously, it's a hamstring, but it's just one of them things. My body was feeling so good, and just I was doing everything right to prepare myself to play.
Okay, so it's not like this is going to cost the Angels a wild card spot or anything, but he was in line to start the All-Star game. Where? Philadelphia. Basically his adopted hometown, if you will. How bummed are you about this news?
I'm pretty bummed. He could be back in time to do it, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Depending on the severity of the hamstring, if it's light, it could be, we can call it 3 weeks, and he'd be like right on the threshold of the All-Star game. And it would be his decision if he wouldn't play. I don't think the Angels could tell him, no, don't go do it. I think he could make that decision. I'm assuming we'll see him regardless out there, one way or the other, if he's playing or not. But yeah, it's been a special season for him. 74 games started already. Well on his way to, a full season, and just the offensive output has been great. It's been great to see him play center field. So yeah, it's a bummer. And I think it would have been really cool. Curious of the ovation he would have got there in Philadelphia. I'm sure it would have been great.
Well, for a few reasons. Number one, he hasn't played in an All-Star game since 2019, which is that amazing? He hasn't played in an All-Star game since then.
All-Star 21, 22, 23, but didn't play in any of them, huh?
No.
Oh, man.
I know. It's a bummer. But you are right about the ovation, and here's why it would especially be interesting. Not only because he grew up in Millville, which is 40 minutes from Philly or something like that, but because, and we just talked about Byron Buxton waiving his no trade, you know who would love to pair him with Bryce Harper. Could you well, hold on. You don't think that that's going to be the reaction?
It's been the talk for 5 years, Chris.
Right. And so this is Philly's one chance to give him all of that love. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a "We Want Trout" chant or something like that he would get. Now, even if he's banged up, I think he's going to go, and just to tip his cap and do all of that. But I remember in 97 when Cleveland hosted the All-Star game, and there were rumors about us wanting, I think at the time it was Curt Schilling and Pedro Martinez, and maybe even Randy Johnson. And when those guys did a tip, the place went nuts. And we all knew why. It was because they were trying to show John Hart, the architect of the Indians at the time, hey, go get those guys now. You don't think Dave Dombrowski's going to be sitting there and hearing all the thunderous applause for Mike Trout, trying to figure out ways to convince Trout to waive his no trade? Say, we'll eat all the money. We don't care about that stuff. We don't have much to give you, but we'll take all that dough off your hands. That's what I
Yeah, they
would say.
really don't like in the way of prospects, nothing. The contract is where they'd have to do.
Right.
It's just again, Trout has continuously said no. So I feel like if I gave this spiel about Buxton, I have to do the same one about Trout. I get it. It's great to think about. It's fun. I know there's a relationship in Philadelphia similar to how Byron could, go to Atlanta. I understand that, but how about Matt Chapman gets that ovation because he's going to be an all-star.
Will he?
I mean, he's
Caminero and Vargas.
He's put up a great year.
Caminero and Vargas.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. He's in the National League. Sorry. Who is at third base in the National League? I was like, is Matt Chapman still in the American League? No, he's not.
I'm gonna look up right now. I'll go National League.
I mean,
and I'm gonna go third baseman.
Some of the regular guys have been poo-poo.
I mean, it's Max Muncy and Matt Chapman right now.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, by the way, sorry, I had a little brain fog. I still thought he was either with the A's or the Blue Jays. Ding, ding, ding.
He's not. No,
he's not.
He would look great in Philly, and that's one guy who doesn't have a no trade clause. At least doesn't.
He's got. I think
limited?
he's got a limited.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure about that.
All right,
but we'll have to see. Trouty, get healthy. I'm sorry, Matt Chapman. I traded you back to the American League before your time. My apologies. So we got one guy that can look into the future and one guy who forgets about the past. MLB. Let's talk about this. Strange thing. They've proposed major changes to the draft. And we're not going to get into everything, but let's roll out the basics here. First of all, there would be an international draft for all amateur players born outside the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. They would have 12 rounds for that draft. The domestic draft would also be 12 rounds, cut down from 20. And get this, high schoolers like my man Trevor Plouffe back in 2004 would no longer be eligible. The thought is NIL has become so big in college baseball that they could earn some dough there while getting some seasoning, growing up, and by 20 years old, if you're a sophomore, you're eligible. Thoughts?
I told myself I wouldn't get into this, especially, and no one should. This early on, like these proposals back and forth are just so silly, and the verbiage and just the responses. It's just I can't stand it. I think Major League Baseball really screwed up with this one because I don't think anybody wants this. Now, I think when they were talking salary cap and all these things, I felt like the game was on their side. This one is just a complete disaster. It makes no sense. The NIL has become so big in college baseball. Has it? It's not college football. It ain't college basketball. Like, that's a crazy statement to say. And what you're really looking at here, if you think about it, you're not draft eligible until you're 20 years old. A couple of years to get to the big leagues. Your entire prime is controlled by your team that drafts you. And then once you're 30 years old, they kind of just get rid of you. That's kind of the way of the world now. It makes zero sense. The best way for guys to get up and maximize, their earning potential is to get drafted out of high school. And we've seen guys, so many guys in today's game are 19 years old. Connor Griffin, Cooper Pratt, who just got called up. All these guys who are debuting, the McGonagalls, I think he's 21. Cole Emerson, like there's so many guys, young studs. So it's not like you're saying, hey, they're just not ready for the big leagues. It's that you don't want them in the big leagues because then eventually you'll have to pay them more. It becomes a money thing. And then the international draft, look, I understand it's not a perfect process and far from it. Like the international free agent stuff is not good.
Crazy.
But this is something that they do. It's a divide tactic. They've done it even when I was back in the day on this commission or the committee that they tried that because they think they can divide the American players and the Latino players by saying, well, the American players have a draft, so why don't these guys have a draft? And it's just like it's a dividing tactic. I think this whole thing is just absolutely stupid, and I honestly can't even believe they put it out.
It's embarrassing, is what it is. Like, who thought Yeah, folks, this is going to win us the PR battle because right now that's all you're trying to do when you drop morsels out into the media. You're just trying to win because you know that at the end of the day, y'all got to sit down and hammer out an agreement behind closed doors. So right now you're just trying to gauge the temperature, and it got very chilly quickly because the fans looked at this and were like, oh, yeah, this is a money grab from the owners. That's it. I mean, this is strictly, it has nothing to do with them saying, oh, look, they could get developed and they could get NIL money. First of all, do players really get developed at the collegiate level? I
I
don't
think
know.
certain programs, yes, and a lot of them, no.
Right. A lot of them know. So the minute you get and let's remember this side of it. You would have been great in college. Just the way your demeanor is. You went to a really good high school. You're a bright guy, the whole bit. College ain't for everybody. I don't care whether you're a baseball player or just whatever you want to do in life. It's not for everybody. So now you're asking some guys who don't belong in college, who have no interest in the other parts that come along with it, to be there at least 2 years. I think that's somewhat disastrous. Look, the NFL is a different game. They can't have kids physically go from high school to the pros. There's been a handful of them, right? Derrick Henry could have done it. Bo Jackson could have done it easily. But for the most part, you do not want 18-year-old kids walking on the fields with 27-year-old men.
No.
Baseball's a different game. You can get overmatched. You're not going to get hurt. You're just not. You're not putting your livelihood on the line. So it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever here. And I scoffed at it. I was like, really? What are we doing?
Yeah, it's very silly. And then to continue to cut the minor leagues down and the draft down doesn't make any sense to me. They've already done that. You've already taken away, not just players' jobs, but facilities around the U.S. You've cut down the amount of teams, so that's a lot of jobs there. And to continue to do it, I'm not about it.
Well, they did say that they were not going to cut teams.
I just feel like that's the way it's going.
Yes.
Okay, that's good that they weren't going to cut teams.
Yeah.
And look, there's other sides to this too. You can't, I'll give everything. I do think that when there was 7 different minor league levels, that was a little bit too much. A lot of guys were just filler guys, and it'll still be that way. But yeah, this was silly from the get-go.
Yeah. Any thoughts, anybody, on this stuff? Few things. Trout, Byron Buxton, and now this. Sorry, I didn't even throw all that stuff out there. I got so fiery earlier.
Yeah.
And you don't have to tell me that Matt Chapman's in the National League. Sorry. A little brain fog this morning. Haven't had my creatine yet there, Danny. All right. Want to let everybody know. Baseball. 162 games of constant movement. Somewhere in all that, you're still trying to stay on top of your finances. Well, Cash App just made that a whole lot easier. Cash App does more than you think when it comes to having your back and making sure your money stays your money. Cash App, it just released a new status program for the way people actually spend called Cash App Green. Now, when you spend at least $500 a month with a Cash App card, you earn green status, which unlocks benefits like up to $200 of free overdraft coverage. If you overdraft unexpectedly, no hidden fees. You also unlock higher borrow limits and custom personalized cashback offers every Friday at places you love to shop. Turn everyday spending into status with Cash App Green. Download Cash App today or visit cash.app to learn more about this and other financial benefits. New Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use the code CashApp10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Debit Flex cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, and the Bancorp Bank, N.A., pursuant to a license from Visa USA, Inc. See terms and conditions for the Sutton prepaid card, Sutton Debit Flex card, and Bancorp Debit Flex card. Cash App Green features savings, direct deposits, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, A Block Inc. brand. Visit cashapp.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. All right, finally, if we were to have a draft for the best hitters in baseball, I'm going to guess this guy doesn't last past 2 or 3.
And
Soto rockets one to deep right field. That ball's going to sail out of here. Juan Soto cranks one off the facing of the second deck for his 16th home run of the year, and the Mets take the early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, he would hit a fly ball that traveled over the fence a little bit later. Wind-aided home run. Do you know that he actually has the most home runs in baseball since May 14th?
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. And you know what we're
Yeah.
going to say? What?
I'm just saying his baseball savant page is incredible right now.
It is. It's incredible. And, of course, every Yankee fan is going to say, well, keep hitting your home runs and earning your $800 million. You ain't going to see the playoffs. Which
We
is
got
true.
Cody Bellinger instead.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you didn't get Ben Rice because Juan Soto.
Okay.
We're arguing with Dan about it. Can't we say Juan Soto's a good player?
Yes. We can say that Juan Soto is a good player, and he will continue his series against the Philadelphia Phillies in the city of brotherly love tonight. Meanwhile, the Brewers and Braves, pretty good series that'll start in Atlanta. Miz on the mound tonight. Which of those teams, as of right now, bigger threat to the Dodgers?
I think it's the Braves. And, look, I think the Brewers are a great baseball team, and I get what they're doing. Right now, the Braves have the best bullpen in baseball, statistically. And then they also hit homers, which I think is what you need to do against the Dodgers pitching staff. We saw the Brewers last year. They were a good offense, but, you can't have that series against the Dodgers. You can't string together 3 hits against them. You can't bunch your way to victories against them. Small ball really isn't going to work against the Dodgers. You have to be able to hit the long ball. 26th in homers for the Brewers, and the Braves are 6th in homers. They scored just as many runs. I just think that that's what it's going to take against this Dodgers team. I get that they have the pitching to do it, but they had the pitching last year too. Miz is a difference maker. Kyle Harrison, I get it, but you have to score runs and you have to hit homers against the Dodgers. So I think it's the Braves for me.
You think the Braves, with their pitching staff the way it is right now, and that was the question, can hang with the Dodgers? Because I think the Brewers pitching staff can.
Yeah, I think that Brewers pitching staff can do a better job limiting them. I just think that the Braves offense will be a better matchup against them.
Do you think that does the question or does the answer change depending on if it's a 5 or 7 game series?
No.
Okay.
Or maybe. I think a 5-game set, I would take the Braves for sure. 7-game set, I think changes things a little bit. But I think I'd still go Braves.
Okay. Because
do you have an answer?
I do. I kind of like that I changed it up between a 5 and 7 game series. I think the only way that you would make the 5-game series is if you won your division but had to play the wild card. And in that case, a guy like Miz or Sale does not start game 1 of a 5-game series. Right? Because he would have to pitch game 1 of the wild card, and then you'll come back and pitch game 2 of a 5-game series. But it all depends on how it shakes out. You could be back for game 5. I think I like the Brewers in a 5-game series better than the Braves against the Dodgers. I don't think I like them in a 7-game series.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think they're both very good baseball teams, so you always like to pit me against one team, but I think my main reason was homers.
I hope both those teams make big splashes at the deadline, particularly the Brewers. I don't want to see the little nickel and dime stuff. I want to see them go get some help. Somebody said you should have sent Matt Chapman over to the Brewers in your trade when we talked about the Giants maybe dealing some of their big contracts.
I mean, I would love it. I just don't think that that's what they do.
I know. Yeah, that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
But we know that they have plenty of young talent there that they can swing the other direction. So, all right. This was a lot of fun. Had some interesting things said out there. I want you to have a good call this weekend. I'll be dipping in and out of your broadcast against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And have an early happy Father's Day.
You as well.
Yeah. My kids
the dad of John Boy Media.
Yes, but my flesh and blood nowhere to be found this weekend. They're both
Oh.
working. Yeah, they're out of the state. That's okay. I'm happy for them. Fly, little birdies, fly. Hope all the dads out there have a wonderful weekend. Go crush it, whatever you do. Have fun. Sunday will be yours, kind of. And then the other 364 days, take your rightful spot somewhere else. We will see you on Monday for our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. Have a great baseball weekend and Father's Day. We'll see you Monday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.